here is Tristen Wallace. He is a passionate photographer, graphic designer, and a thrill seeker. He's incredibly curious. He loves to travel, capture, and share the world's stories. And here he is with his Ignite Talk, passionately curious, Tristen Wallace.
Who else here grew up in a sheltered lifestyle? Discontent. That was me. Until fully distressed, mental health stressed, I left. With a mother-son situation pressurized, compressed, and ready to blow, one night, I had to go. At 16, I moved out of the house. I moved out because I felt trapped within this negative situation, but I've later realized that moving out was the key to my freedom from thoughtless stagnation. Knowledge became my hobby. Seeking new talents, exploring creativity, adventure, these were my new pleasures. This was me, unapologetically, excitedly me. One day, I decided to kayak around a lake just to follow a family of swans. I was completely captivated by taking their pictures. With full composure, I compressed the trigger, releasing the shutter, freezing these moments in utter timeless clarity. It's called flow theory in positive psychology, a feeling when time stands still. One finds a prime focus, a balance between challenge and mental stimulus, a hypnosis of the mind, a diagnosis of this hypnotic interest in the present. This is the state of my mind when I look through a camera lens and find a candid moment of pure emotion. I search for the unique perceptions, always looking for that unthought of take on artful perfection. Wedding action is a prime example because I can capture love as it happens, happily freeze moments of intimacy, and through my photography, tell these beautiful stories of passion and intricacy. Embracing curiosity, I consistently live on the boundary of my comfort zone, pushing towards my next milestone. With life spinning at 1,040 miles per hour, I don't want to postpone my personal growth or live a life that's monotone. I know I'll never stand for reluctance because I have this desire to explore planet Earth's abundance. This group, Engineers Without Borders, they gave me this wondrous opportunity to stay in Kenya last January, telling the stories of the lives of this community through the eye of my camera lens. One of the best experiences of my life. I got to highlight the smiles, the happiness, the friendships, and hope. Halfway across the globe, one memory with my team that sticks out amongst the rest is when my curiosity led me to find a valley that opened into what looked like an infinite Kenyan expanse, a chance place for photographic enchantment. As I'm setting up, and the setting sun is casting shadows that dance across this lush, untouched canyon, children all of a sudden began to pop up out of the brush and curiously approach us. With only paper guides to translate, conversation was light, but the kids were able to talk to us about that site we were there for. Chang Poto, we heard, and realized they were talking about the sunset. And get this, every time I look at these pictures, I reflect and I hear their proud voices. But let's wrap it back to the present. Step away from the stories. Focus on my curiosity. It guides my subconscious cartography, mapping the adventures, making up my future autobiography. Too often, we get lost in a virtual reality, and we can't find our present mentality. Time elapses, and we forget about life's constantly moving small things too often subdued by life's big things, everything that detracts from our passions. As students, we're all juggling classes, majors, degrees, and extracurricular activities, but our core school requirements simply may not lead to a life plan, dream, retirement. Does breathing the college atmosphere fill you with fulfillment, or are you feeling constant fear that your major, your time spent here, you don't quite feel it? So you conceal it. You bottle it momentarily for what you feel will be a brief time, but it edges on eternity as you constantly pursue stability and monotony. But it's not all about the job and the money. You could be setting course for far-off galaxies, accepting unique, unheard-of opportunities. I'm convinced there's nothing holding me back from completely experiencing life but my mortality. I've learned to see only positivity and not waste my time thinking in a negative capacity. Now, some say that's an impracticality, but all it took was a tiny shift in my perception of actuality. We have nothing to lose from an attention to learning everything, pursuing our passionate dreams, focusing on a healthy well-being. It's the pursuit of those happy life things that fulfill us as human beings. We're all the same. Homo sapiens, no matter the color of our skin, but it's where we've been and what we've done that breaks preconceptions and makes us unique. My lesson here is a physical one. Stories, they're a physical thing we carry flowing through the veins. My wish is for mine to tear at the seams. Stories stretching and compressing over every body tissue. So if everything we do was written on our bodies like tattoos, the adventures we pursue and even the opportunities that we lose, what would you want people to read on you?